Welcome back to the Planet Princess podcast. This is your host, Princess Nani. I wanted to talk about something that's very important when it comes to identity shifting, and that is the reality of setting a goal. What I mean by that is that the reason why identity shifting is so important, because the moment you set a goal, your brain then analyzes the goal and it asks itself, is this goal in alignment with who I am as a person? And a lot of the times it's not, right? And that's why we go through this process, and that is the process of manifestation, is getting in alignment. So everything does start from a place of identity, and I wanted to walk you through things that I do that really help me shift my identity, get back into my body and out of my head, because if you're in your head, you're dead, right? The moment you get wrapped up in all of the thoughts, that is the moment you lose. And I have learned to be really intentional about this process. So I just wanted to share with you a few things that are really going to help you navigate your identity shifting journey. If you found your way to this podcast, there's a big chance that you are manifesting huge identity shifts. Things like a soulmate, right? It could be wealth. It could be finally healing from trauma. Finally feeling like the person that thing, whatever happened, is no longer who you are, and it no longer determines what your self-worth is and how you see yourself. So first things first, I just wanted to share one thing that really helped me was completely making a list of who is this next version of myself. And you can do it in two ways, okay? You can do it from achieving this goal, or you can do it from overall every area of your life. Who is this new version of you? Me personally, I like to do it overall, because there are going to be so many things that pop up on your journey that you're going to have to make a decision. And that decision may seem like it's unrelated to the goal that you have set, but in actuality, it's almost like it coincides with the achievement of the goal. So I like to just do an overall big picture. Okay, who is this person, this perfect version of me? And when I say perfect, I definitely mean your version of perfect. I don't mean you trying to fit yourself into a box and fit yourself into a pre-designed, manufactured identity that's placed on you by society. That's not what I'm talking about at all, but it's important as we take on this princess identity in particular, like, what is your perfect version of yourself? Your highest self, the parts of you that they're not scuffed up. And by that I mean they're unaffected by whatever is happening in reality, right? Your outside world. You have to get very clear on this perfect version of yourself, because part of trauma-informed manifestation is really coming to terms with the fact that there's nothing wrong with you. And we talked about this in the last episode, where it's so easy to feel like you're a special snowflake, that everything that's happened to you is completely unique to you, and all of the things, right? When in reality, it's like 80% of us, we grow up in dysfunctional homes, and dysfunction is a spectrum, right? So it definitely ranges. But at this point, we're no longer letting the past define who we are, right? We're no longer letting the past dictate how we feel in the present moment. And every time we take a step back and we pause and we just recollect ourselves, that's how we win. And that's how we manifest as well, by taking that step back, by realigning every time we feel that we're just not in flow. And that's why I'm creating this podcast, because it is so easy to lose faith. It is so easy to wobble, but now you have a roadmap on what the ups and downs are going to be, most likely going to be for you, and you'll know that at every moment you're doing it right. That's a big thing. That's something that your brain needs to hear over and over and over again. So I'll definitely be repeating myself, is that you are doing this right. Like, you can't fuck this up. Like, we think that manifestation is materializing our goals, when really the most powerful manifestors are people that trust themselves. They don't have all of this inner conflict. They're not walking around with all of this extra baggage. It's about alignment. And trusting yourself is one of the biggest forms of alignment, because it means that when you have inner guidance, you're going to trust that. I just wanted to share that the best way to dive into this work and really make it meaningful is by doing the energy healing sessions that I've prepared for you. That's really going to prime your body to be able to navigate the ups and downs of life and manifesting and growing and becoming the highest version of yourself. I will have that linked below. You'll see them in the show notes, the link to my school group where it's there. And also grab my free hypnosis. That's really going to, as you're going through this process, fill your mind with just loving and positive affirmations that makes it easier to step into your highest self and stay there, which is really the most important part. So check those out in the show notes below, and we'll get back to our podcast episode. So when you're moving your identity from a place of having been traumatized, having been put down a lot in your life, having always made feel like you were the problem, or just the things that have happened, they scarred you in such a way that now it's like you see yourself as the girl who XYZ happened to, and that's the reason why, you can't find love, and you can't do this, and you can't build the business that you want, you can't go after your dreams. All of that drama, the best way to dismantle those identities is, your heart definitely has to convince your mind that it's over. Okay, I'm going to be saying that a lot just to remind you, but when you really get good at tuning into your heart, it tells your brain and your body that you are not in survival mode. And you cannot shift realities while being in survival mode. So on your list, take a moment to do that now while you're listening to this podcast, and really get clear on what is the most perfect version of you. If none of the trauma had happened, if you had grown up in the most beautiful and loving home possible with the best parents in the whole wide world, how would you be in this moment? Sometimes it's easier to develop our ideal selves based on who we already are, because if you think about it, like, what are the things that you already like about yourself? It's not that you're creating a whole new character in this video game called life, right? A lot of the times it's like you're getting rid of the parts of yourself, how you see yourself, the things that you do that obstruct and block you actually seeing how great you are. So it's not always about like creating this whole new character. It's really about starting from a place of self-love, of being like, you know what, I'm already dope. Like, I'm already cool. I'm already like perfect. And in a perfect world, I would not have to deal with these things, and I can only focus on what it is that I want. And that's actually common, manifestation advice, right? Like focusing on what it is that you want. So when you're crafting this perfect version of yourself, you are going to just get really clear, first and foremost, on what parts of you that you already love, that you're super proud of, and you're gonna build your highest self, your ideal self, the princess version of you based on that. Okay, you're going to take that and then you're going to run with it. And from there, because you have to be able to believe that this version of you is actually possible. And one of the easiest ways to believe that this version of you is possible is to just start with what's already foundation and familiar in you. Okay, so take a moment and just really get clear on what it is that you love about yourself. Like what things about you would you never change. There, even if you've had a lot of trauma, it could be the fact that you're resilient, right? That you still wake up every day and you try. And even if I've had times in my life where waking up and getting out of bed was extremely difficult. So if that's the place that you're at least you're listening to this podcast, like at least even when you're super, super low, you do little things that make a big difference. So there has to be something that you can build upon and just come up with an idea, a version of yourself that it feels real. The realer it feels, the better. Because when it feels extremely real, that's when it's most likely to just manifest and materialize, and you don't have to like convince yourself as much that this is actually possible. Okay, so you're gonna really start from what you love about yourself and dream from there. So like, if you can have anything in the world, what would it be? And how would you feel about yourself? Like, can you describe the level of confidence that you would want to have, right? Or can you describe like the wardrobe? Can you describe the types of food that you'll be eating, the kind of water that you'll be drinking? Can you really like create a movie in your mind about who is the best version of you and get really into it and make it so that it's just easy to believe, but it has to be a stretch. Okay, so easy to believe. That's why we're starting with the foundation of what we already like about ourselves, right? It's easier to imagine from there, so you feel a lot less resistance. But you want to get as crazy as possible. Like you don't even want to shoot for the stars. You want to like shoot for the galaxy. And the reason for that is because it gives your brain a rush of dopamine. Like, the more dreamy and imaginative something becomes in your mind, the more you shut off your default mode network. So really, like, even if this takes you a whole week or a month, or you're constantly working out at this throughout the year, like really getting extremely descriptive and detailed, and it becomes more than a vision board, right? It becomes a living, breathing self-definition. And for a lot of us, we never had that. We kind of just went with the flow. We showed up to life, we reacted to life, and we didn't really respond to it. Like, we became who we needed to be in moments of crisis, right? Moments of happiness, right? Moments of desire. So now you really have like a blank canvas to really paint this life that you deserve. And I promise you, the more into it you get, the more you'll start to see that your identity shifts naturally. So be as detailed as possible. Really take time and just dream, right? Sometimes when you've been through a lot, the easiest thing to do is to just imagine the version of you who, if all those things that circle in your mind, if none of that would have happened, like, where would you be? Even if like you're being dramatic, like you would be like a trillionaire and, like living on a yacht, in Monaco, and, you have like billionaires calling you every 5 seconds, asking for your advice. You have to let your brain go there. You have to. The more you let your brain go there, the more it feels like it's safe. And that brings me to my next thing, is that when you're crafting this perfect version of yourself, the princess life, whatever that means for you, the biggest thing that you need to begin to become aware of is just how you feel in your body. So notice what goals, what scenes, what scenarios, what outfit choices, like shoes, like get really, really specific. Notice how everything feels in your body. And the work then becomes, how can you stretch your capacity? Very briefly, I just want to explain what capacity is, because it's such a buzzword. You hear it all the time. And the easiest way that I think of what capacity is that capacity is the moments of growth in your life that stretch you, and one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to rise and fulfill whatever is being demanded of you, or you are going to shrink back into an old version of yourself. So, but capacity is something that we actually build each day, and that's really important. So if you're worried that, like every time something happens, you get traumatized, or you just have such a physical anxious reaction, the only way to really work through that is practicing feeling safe in the small moments. The more you practice feeling safe, like at the grocery store, like while you're driving in your car, the more you practice feeling safe while you're journaling, it starts to communicate to your body that no matter what comes up, you can handle it. And that's also why we do our energy healing sessions as well. So that way it's like you're establishing deep safety within your body, and when there is a moment of being uncomfortable, it's way easier to just navigate that, right? To feel proud after whatever happened and be like, oh my God, I made a different choice. And success is a decision. So the majority of the work is really being aware of how you feel in your body when you're setting these goals. You know, if you're setting goals, if you're like me and you have extremely big goals and you're just like, you know what, like this makes me so uncomfortable. I don't know how this is going to happen. And it's easy to start to build resistance. One thing that really helps me is you can use those moments to actually expand your capacity. And it's not about completely transforming how you feel and what you're thinking. I actually think that it's easier to work with your body first, then the mind will follow, right? Going back to the book of Thinking Fast and Slow, we have two minds, the animalistic and instinctive mind, which is the subconscious and unconscious, and then there's a conscious mind. So the subconsciously unconscious is 95 to 99% of who you actually are. So that's actually why we work with the body. That's why we do our energy healing sessions, and that is why we focus as we're crafting out this perfect character, this perfect version of us and our highest self. Our main goal at first is not to immediately start taking all of the actions in the world and just like full throttle stepping into this version of us. All of that will happen when you feel safe being that person. Okay, so if your goals are really big and they're stretchy and it's just like, wow, you know, like you're having a full visceral reaction, the best thing that you can do is use that as a way to expand. Right? Use that as a way to increase your capacity. Use that as a meditation. So when you're thinking of that, you know, get really, really specific in your body. Okay, where am I feeling this? How am I feeling? Is like, if you can think about it, like what memories are coming up that contradict what I just said or what I just wanted. And the reason why we want to do this is because we want to get extremely, extremely clear on how the highest version of ourselves, how they react, right? We want to know every single thing about them. We want to know how they wake up in the morning, how they go to bed at night. You know, like, how do they walk? How do they talk? How do they dress? How do they respond to conflict, right? What type of learner are they, right? How do they absorb information? Like, where do they go to find stuff? Who would they ask, right? What kind of investments are they always willing to make in themselves? We really, really want to get clear on not just the overall picture, but the micro decisions. We need to get as granular as possible to the point where it's actually damn near impossible to not be able to see this vision for our lives playing out in our head. And one thing that I really, really want to stress, because it's just a lot of times with religion and, you know, being in church, you get told that God's plan, not yours, right? And that can make you question what it is that you're dreaming, because you're constantly doubting yourself. You're like, okay, is this actually what God wants for me? And the truth is, your desires are your destiny. So if you have something really, really strong in your heart, and you know that this is like, by the way that it makes you feel in your body, that it's totally aligned, then that's a sign from God that that desire is pure, and you have to trust it. So what you're going to notice is that when you don't trust that feeling, that's when things go bad. That's when you start finding yourself in a lot of situations that just could have been avoided had you just trusted yourself. So really lean into that, and really know that as you're doing this process, as you're on this journey, you're connecting with your highest self that has been downloaded and inspired to you from God. And you'll get better at just trusting intuitively what's being communicated with you by God, by the universe, source, the divine, however you want to think of it. You'll get really, really good at just being able to tell what is meant for you to trust and what you should kind of like do some analyzing around. And one thing that I believe in so much is that over-analyzing things is pointless. Like, I don't spend a lot of time second-guessing my decisions. I just don't. The more I analyze things, I find that the less effective and the lower quality that decision is. But when I make a decision very, very quickly, on the spot, then it's like, okay, I know that I made the right choice, and I just don't, as much as possible, I just do not go back and forth in my mind about it. There's this quote that says, successful people make decisions very, very quickly, and they change their minds very, very slowly. So on this journey, as you're building out this archetype, this higher version of yourself, and getting really, really clear on, okay, every single little thing about them, down to how they spend each day, like, list out how they spend the holidays. Like, what do they do on their birthday? Get really, really specific. Who do they wake up next to? If that's your soulmate, or you're already married, or in a relationship, fine, perfect. But if that's also something that you're crafting out, get really specific on how do they feel in their relationship. When certain things come up, how are they processing life? Like, you could even get so granular and be like, okay, well, what do they do at a red light? What do they do when someone honks the horn at them, and what's their reaction, to stress that's placed on them by the outside world? How do they react when certain family members or friends say little annoying things? Like, really get specific, really. It has to be so strong that your brain automatically creates this as a reality. So then the next thing that I want you to do is every single day before you start your day, list what it is that you have to do that day, and then how would your future self handle this day that's in front of you? Because a lot of the times it's like we get into this higher self-work, this future self-work, and the worst thing that we could do is make it seem like it's so far away, right? The life that you're describing definitely is an ideal. However, that ideal is going to come about through actions that you take each day. So as much as possible, really, every morning when you start your day, list out the things that you have to do and how would your future self actually handle this day ahead of you. So to me, that just makes it easier and more tangible to become that version, to really collapse that timeline, because now it's like, okay, I know who she is overall, my princess version of myself. At the same time, I know exactly how she would complete this day ahead of me. So the more that you tune into both of those things, the easier it's going to be to just bridge that identity gap. And it's going to feel natural. It's going to feel easy. Some people say that this is also like you're creating an alter ego. So the main point is that you want to create a version of yourself that's not weighed down and tied to everything that's happened up until this point. Whatever you want to bring into the future with you, definitely state that. But, like the good things, the people, the relationships, keep them in the picture. Craft scenarios around, your interactions with them. But more than anything, like every single day, instead of trying to become a new version of yourself, just use what you've been building out and then define how that person would just approach the day ahead of you. And you're going to get really good at this to the point where it becomes unconscious, and now you're constantly reiterating that version of you in your head because something happened, and for the first time you are actually able to react in a way that was aligned with what you've already predetermined your higher self would do. And that's what collapses timelines. So I really, really hope you found this episode helpful, that it just unlocked something in you and inspired you. Definitely let me know. And again, this is Princess Nani. I will see you on the next one. Toots.